weep, grana weep, and bong, and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things Transformers and Transformers action figure related. And today on my channel we are finally going to take a look at the Iron Factory Void Tyrant. Now this dude was due out in 2020 and I've had him on pre-order since March 2020. He's finally out. Let's check a look and see if he was worth the wait. As we always do on this channel, let's start off by checking a look at the box. And the Iron Factory box is pretty cool. This is kind of similar to the Tyrant box that we got as well. This is Void Tyrant. This is their take on Galvatron. So yeah, it's cool. It's got the Iron Factory logo here at the top. It has the bot mode and the alt mode. Very, very cool. Little window to be able to see it. It says Void Tyrant if EX47 Iron Factory 2021. The back shows the bot mode, the alt mode, and the multiple versions you can get, because you always get a hell of a lot of accessories with this, which is pretty cool. And shows the two different head options, a QR code, a little, I think that's a Weibo symbol, I don't know, then Iron Factory there, and then at the side we get this kind of odd picture of the Void Tyrant himself, kind of purpled over. At the bottom we got told, don't eat your children because they have small parts. And at the top we get the purpled out one already, and we've been through that already. Both sides are the same on this, and then we also get the destructions with this one, and the destructions are okay, pretty small. Not great, if I'm honest, when it comes to the actual destructions themselves, and they don't quite show where all the tabs have to go. You kind of do have to do a little bit of guesswork with it, but the transformation, I have to say, is pretty simple. First we check the box, then we check the bot inside, and let's check a look at Void Tyrant himself, Iron Factory's take on Galvatron. And this alt mode, I have to say, in person, if you watch my news articles, you'll see I've gone really back and forth on this one. I liked it, then I saw some pictures of it actually in its fully alt moded up, and I wasn't that impressed by the thing at all. But in person, you know what? I don't actually mind it. I think it's actually a lot better in person. The transformation is, yeah, I mean, you can kind of see how it transforms just by looking at that. But from side on, from certain angles, you know, it ain't bad. From certain angles, in person, it is not bad. The tracks don't move, unfortunately, with, and they don't get wheels or anything, unfortunately, with Iron Factory. They are more kind of, I would say, certainly the alt modes, they're more like models. They don't put much thought into this needs to move and things like that. Just give it some look. Could have maybe done with some paint here as well. I do feel they've cheaped out a little bit there on the paint. The plastic feels great, and actually, even though it doesn't look like it holds together very well, it tabs in here, it tabs in here, it tabs in very sturdily here at the back. This whole piece, this is actually for a Galvatron. This is a very sturdy alt mode. It has the awesome translucent cannon here that I absolutely love, and that's pretty much all I can say. Because it's just a bit of a land cannon, there's no further articulation really that you can do with it. There's no accessories that work with it in this mode. It just kind of sits there and looks not as bad as I thought it would. I think that's pretty much the best I can say about it. It looks not as bad as I thought it would. I'll give it some props. Let's start with a quick comparison then, and we'll start actually by Iron Factory Tyrant, so we can see those two on show together, so we can see they're actually a very similar size. This still one of the best Megatrons in my entire collection. Absolutely love this. That's how they look together. Other legend scale Galvatrons that I have, this absolute shit show from Mech Fans Toys that is just horrifying. So yeah, it's miles better than, just sort out his shoulder piece there. It's miles better than this thing. Do not buy this thing. But then probably the best Legend class Galvatron I have at the moment, and this is the more classic looking one from New Age. And yeah, he looks different. You know, you can see that, you know, this is more of your classic Galvatron, and you can see how they look together, and I think nice, you know. I think that there's a nice variation. You can have them kind of on their own. You can really see where Iron Factory tried to do just something that's just a little bit different with their figures, which I can definitely appreciate. And then finally, as this basically is the year of Galvatron this year, we can also compare him to the new Kingdom Galvatron, and we can see he's way smaller. Transformation time then, and the first thing we're going to do is lift this section up and just pull that out. So there's the cannon, and then you'll transform the cannon by pulling this section up and pushing that section down, and then that's transformed already into Galvatron's amazing looking cannon. Love this. Then we're going to move on to the body itself. So start off with these tabs down here. Like I said, these arms are tabbed in, so untab that and untab that. Then you'll kind of give freedom to everything else that we have around here. So what we'll do at this point is bring these shoulders, rotate them back up to where they should be, and then you just rotate the whole shoulder here past the tab, and there we go. So that just connects and makes that back into this kind of V shape here. Then you can untab this and just bring this section up as well, and you've got everything kind of just like that. At this point, bring the head out, so you've just got his noggin just kind of hanging out just up there, and you can twist it round as well, so then you've got everything kind of all ready to go. Next up, we'll start on the legs. So untab the legs that are really securely tabbed together at this point. There we go. So they're untabbed, and then you can kind of rotate everything back down so they're stretched out, and just go back in, and then fold the feet back around and bring this heel back to where it needs to be. At this point then, you can also just angle the feet forward and bring these leg sections back on themselves. There we go, just to close off those legs. They kind of rotate round rather than fold out and hinge round. The hinge is like a rotating hinge, which is rather nice and rather nifty. So there's the legs done. And at this point, we've got his ass facing backwards, so move that forwards and then rotate the legs back round, and there we go. So we have the whole piece there just done nicely, and then it's just a matter of move the arm down, and then we need to mess around with this kind of back area here by hinging everything down and up at the same time, but with the head going in. Oh, you can tab. You can see that long tab there. We'll just make a lovely little clicking sound like that, and then we've got the whole of the arm in, leg in, and then we can tab the rest of the back in. Now he's obviously missing one final piece. So to peg the gun in correctly, what you need to do is just grab this section here, bring it all the way to the back, and then this will peg into this arm slot here. Okay, so now we have our fully transformed robot Void Tyrant in all of his glory, or better known to you and I as Galvatron. That's right, look at that bad boy. That, my friends, is a thing of beauty. He is absolutely gorgeous. He definitely takes inspiration from some of the IDW stylings, I think. Really sharp and pointy, you know? I don't think there's any other way to kind of describe the way he looks. He is just really sharp. Everything about him is angular and pointy, down to the horns on the bottom of his feet, and also this amazing blaster cannon that he has here that is just spot on. His tracks hang off just like the way that they're supposed to. The back looks absolutely phenomenal as well. Look at that head sculpt there. Get the focus. His glowing red eyes there look fantastic. Nice expression on his face, silver paint on all of that as well. Just looking great. Just a very, very, very nice figure. Let's look at the articulation then. So on the head, we're going to get a full 360 here on the head, and all the way down and all the way up. You are getting some beautiful articulation here on the head. On the arm, you're going to get a full 360. Also, these will articulate up and down, so you can kind of position these however you want them. You'll get 2 points of articulation here on the elbow, so you can... Sorry, the hands pop off because they do have interchangeable hands, so don't worry about that. That is supposed to happen. But you get the forward and back action, and then also you get another point of articulation here, so you can actually rotate it correctly. Then at the hips, you'll get a full 360, obviously due to the transformation, and then you'll get a all the way back and then all the way to the front. Hip skirts will articulate up, and then you can move this out to the side, and then you'll get, again, I think it's, yeah, you'll get a good knee bend out of that. It has more than 1 point of articulation, I think, but this kind of stops it. On the feet, you'll get some rocker, and then you'll get this heel to do this as well. So absolutely fantastic. This also rotates. You might want it down or you might want it up. Something that Iron Factory always has is a lot of accessories, and the first accessories that we can look at here with this little dude are the new hands, and you get an assortment of hands with all of these little figures. And just to show off some of the hands, you get an open hand, which is rather nifty. You get a closed hand. Now this is a closed hand with a hole in it so that this can actually hold the hand axe that he comes with. This is the hand axe holding one for the other hand. This is an open hand for the other hand. And then we get the hand axe holding hands as well for this one. So all you can see, and you've seen this as I've been doing the transformation, the hands will just pop off like so, and in which case we will then stick on maybe this, hey, and then on the other side we can stick on maybe this, hey. It's very similar to the Tyrant that we got earlier from them. The only way you can really do the transformation is by having this hand. These are the hands that will only work in the transformation. The other one will look a little bit daft, if I'm honest. And then the other thing that we get, obviously, and that's why I put these hands on, is he gets a rather large axe. So we can bring out his axe here. And there we go. We can look at that axe. Absolutely splendid. Two-tone here. Three-tone? Two-tone. You get some silver shiny on it, and then black molded plastic as you go through the rest of it. You can attach the axe into the hand and then put the hand in, and there we go. He can hold his axe a little bit like this one. You could give him the open hand on the other side as well, so that he can hold his axe then in the two hands, so you can kind of get it a little bit like a guitar moment. He also comes with another head, and his other head looks, I guess, a little bit sterner. So this one's like kind of more pouty, and this one's a little bit, I guess, sterner if we put them together. Get your focus on. Yeah, so you can see the subtle difference between the two. I guess the bigger difference is these ones is more of a spike there that kind of taper in. This is more of your classic Galvatron spikes. For my money, I'm keeping this one on because I really like this kind of more IDW look. He does come with one more accessory, and that's this. So this is an extra shoulder pad for just this side. And it has a port on the front. And I can't for the life of me, all you do to do this is just kind of unfurl the front. This will then lock into position. You got a little tab there at the back, and you can just stick this one down, back onto that section, and there we go. So that's in with his new shoulder pad with a port on it. Now I think that potentially this is so that you could give him an extra weapon when he's in his alt mode. You can stick the gun also in here. I guess maybe doing what I was speaking about before, which is using the port here at the back to be able to position the gun so it looks more like that. I guess that's it, but I don't like that. I don't like it being attached to the shoulder plate. So yeah, if you want it like that, it will then attach onto the shoulder and you can have it kind of moving around like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of that, if I'm entirely honest. Alright, so now time to finish off with the comparisons, and let's start off with a legend scale Galvatron. So that is absolutely beautiful. You can see again, this is like your classic looking Galvatron here, and this is how much they've really changed it and made it a little bit more kind of IDW inspired, which I really appreciate. Bringing those two together, absolutely fantastic. Sticking him next to Tyrant, so the two versions here. So we've got Megatron. This is how I display my Megatron. He just looks awesome already with loads of tactical equipment ready to go. Ooh. Just turn that section around. That's supposed to be like that. And you can see that they do look fantastic together. Very similar in height. Very nice. And they are going to look beautiful on my shelf together right next to each other. Another take on Galvatron at the Legends scale is Planet Galvatron that I have. So you can see this one's the more wacky take on Galvatron from the Super God Master Force, was it? Or was it Headmasters? Maybe it was Headmasters. Looking absolutely, yeah, Headmasters. So these look great together. Again, my Legend shelf is absolutely killing it this year. Love the Legend scale. And then finally, in the Legend scale, the figure you should never pick up. The awful Mech Fans Toys take on Galvatron that is just horrific. Then finally, so you can really see the size difference here, we have him next to the Kingdom Galvatron, and you can really start to see that size difference between these two. And yeah, they're two very different takes on Galvatron. If this was this size, this would probably be my favourite take on Galvatron ever. So time for my final thoughts on this dude, and would I recommend him? Hell yeah. If you're into your Iron Factory, he's a great figure. Doesn't come with quite as many accessories as normal Tyrant, and I think if I could only buy one, if I was going to buy him or Tyrant, which is the Megatron take, I would definitely go for Tyrant every time over this one. But all being said, this is a very good take on a Legend scale Galvatron. I love it. I'm super happy with it now, even with the alt mode, which is pretty good once you get it in your hand and look at it from certain angles. Let me know your thoughts on this one down in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Alright guys, in a bit. Peace!